Hello, and welcome back to my channel today. So today I wanted to speak about the top mistakes that women make when they're trying to lose weight. And we will sort of go through various different factors that might be contributing to why you are struggling with the all or nothing mentality and why you feel the need to be starting every single Monday and end up falling off track, but you can't actually stay consistent. And one thing I want to highlight, no, it's not because you don't have willpower or you just can't achieve the goals that you want to achieve. You absolutely can. You're just making these common mistakes. And once you understand these mistakes and be able to move forward from them, I can promise you the results are going to start flying in. Number one is you're eating healthy, but you're not actually in a calorie deficit. And this is the top mistake that I see people making. Healthy eating does not mean fat loss. You could be eating as healthy as ever. You could have the healthiest diet in the world and not eat any processed foods or any sugar, and you can still gain weight. And the reason for this is because you're actually not in a calorie deficit. So when it comes to fat loss, it's not the nutritional value of the food we want to be looking at. Of course, yes, that's a massive aspect, which I will get into in a little bit more detail, but we want to be looking at how much energy and how much calories are actually being consumed. So when you're eating healthy, you might feel amazing. You know, your energy is going to be better, your sleep's going to be better, your skin's going to improve because you're fueling your body and you're nourishing your body in the right way. However, you can still do that and still overeat, which is going to mean that you're going to gain weight. Okay, so health foods like avocado, peanut butter, nuts in general, dark chocolate, all of these things are considered to be healthy. Granola is such a common one, right? And yes, all of these are healthy foods, but they're also super high in healthy fats. And healthy fats are still 9 calories. You know, the fats in your McDonald's is 9 calories per gram of protein. And so is the avocado and the peanut butter and the nuts that you're having. Even though these are considered health foods, they are still the same amount of calories and they're so much easier to overeat. And a lot of the time I see girls like not weighing their granola and just pouring it in and actually having 3 servings instead of 1 because it's such a small amount for such a high amount of calories. Because the food is super calorie dense, or having a full avocado with their lunch and not realizing that that's actually bumping their calories up drastically. So that is one of the first mistakes. Eating healthy does not mean you're going to lose weight if you're not accounting for your calories and you're not actually being mindful of being in a deficit. Yes, initially maybe you'll see tweaks and changes being made, especially if you come from a background of maybe eating super processed foods. You will see those changes, but it doesn't guarantee that you're going to see fat loss results. And these health foods should still be the majority of your diet because, like I said, they're what makes you feel good, that increases your energy, that improves your hair, skin, your nails and everything else. There's a reason that we promote healthy eating, but you can eat super healthy and still be in a calorie surplus is the one thing I'm trying to highlight. So everything in moderation also plays a key part even when you're healthy eating. Mistake number 2 is restricting too much throughout the day. So I see it a lot, women skipping breakfast or just having a coffee for breakfast or on the go, you know, too busy to eat lunch. And yes, initially you might think, oh, I'm not actually eating that much, so of course I'm going to see weight loss. But in all reality, all that's going to happen is you're going to come home, you're going to be starving, the ghrelin hormone's going to be way up, and you are going to want to binge, okay? You're going to end up overeating and essentially not going for the best choices when it comes to your food either, because your body is starving and your body's actually hungry, and you are setting yourself up for that failure. I done a video on this last week, essentially why most people end up binge eating in the evenings, and this is one of the key factors that I spoke about, like skipping breakfast. Even though it might seem like a good idea initially, it actually just leaves you feeling hungrier later on into the day, which will end up just reducing your motivation and your drive to be able to stick to your goals. And you just end up nibbling on bits and grabbing bits here and there and thinking you're not eating that much, but then all of a sudden you have this feeling that you're out of control and you don't have control around food. Stop restricting yourself throughout the day. You will see more fat loss results by eating 5 meals a day rather than 2 meals a day. All that being with proper portion sizes, with consistent energy levels sustained, with blood sugar levels kept at a stable level. There's so much more that comes into play with that, but that is how it works. You eating 2 meals a day will only leave you hungry and more than likely overindulging. If it's not at the end of the day, it'll be at the weekend. And talking about the weekend as well, I'm going to go into mistake number 3, and it's weekend calories don't count. Unfortunately, they do. Weekend calories definitely count, and no matter how good you have been Monday through to Friday, if you hit the fucking button Saturday and Sunday, you are self-sabotaging your own goals. You will fall into that binge, restrict and guilt cycle, and you're gonna keep repeating and feeling the need to start again every Monday. Now, if you can imagine, you are eating consistently Monday through to Friday, and yes, of course, at the weekends we have a different routine, you have a little bit more flexibility, you're more likely to go out and eat out for a meal or whatever the case is. So yes, from a social aspect, we're a little bit busier. But if you can imagine, you still stay on track. Like, even if you're going out for dinner, you have your normal breakfast, you have your normal lunch, you have your normal snacks in between. Prioritize protein in these meals. You will not end up eating as much when you are going out for your meal than you would have previously. As well as that, when you're at home, we don't eat a 3-course meal. You have your dinner and that's it. You don't have a starter, a main and a dessert to follow at home. So stop doing that when you're going for a meal out, especially if it's every single weekend. If you're only doing that once a month or whatever, yeah, fine. It's not going to throw anything off. But if you're eating out a few times a week, if you're having takeaways or whatever in between, be mindful with the choices that you're making, because those couple of days between Friday, Saturday and Sunday could literally triple your calorie intake without you actually realizing it. And you're going to be wondering why you're not seeing fat loss. But the reason you're not seeing fat loss is no matter how good and consistent and within your calories you are Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday, is you are pushing yourself out of your deficit over the weekend, because you keep telling yourself, oh, it's been a long week, I deserve this, or, you know, weekend calories don't count, it's too hard to track here. You're not expected to track, but you are expected to be mindful of yourself, respect yourself enough to understand when you're feeling hungry and when you're feeling full, and stop yourself from eating once you're full. We don't need to be going overboard, and I can promise you this way you will be able to enjoy a meal off every single week. You will still be able to enjoy all these social events without feeling like they're completely taking you steps backwards. Mistake number 4 is actually no structure with training. You can be going into the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week, which I also don't recommend because you need recovery, but you could be super consistent with your training, but because you have no structure, you're not actually progressing. And when you're not progressing, when you're not pushing your body out of its comfort zone, when you're not pushing your body to actually adapt, it's not going to give you the results that you want to see, because it has no reason to. Your body will not want to show you that progress. Your body will not want to push itself out of its comfort zone when it doesn't need to. So you going in and doing random workouts, like doing random boot camps with no progressive overload, yes, within the first month of ever doing exercise, you will see changes, but after that month, you're not going to see any more changes, because your body adjusted, your body's not being challenged, your body isn't being pushed anymore. So again, it has no reason to be progressing. And mistake number 5 is stop expecting results overnight. It did not take you a week to gain 2 stone of body fat. It is not going to take you a week to get that 2 stone of body fat off either. And that's what you need to remember. I see this week in and week out with coaching women, you know, they see a plateau on the scales and they're like, oh, this is not working. I need to eat less. I need to move more. I need to be pushing. No, you need to calm down. You need to relax and stop expecting results overnight, because they're not going to happen. And if you are expecting them to happen, you're going to constantly leave yourself disappointed, and you're constantly going to end up giving up every single week because you're not seeing any changes. But in all reality is you haven't been consistent enough for a long enough period of time to see those changes. Like, I always use this example as, for example, when you start driving, right? The first time you get in the car, are you going to be amazing at it? Absolutely not. You're going to be absolutely shitting yourself. You're going to be nervous. After a week, you'll feel maybe a little bit better, but you're still going to be nervous. You're not going to have that full autopilot mode on when you get into the car. But 2 months in, you will. You know, after doing that repeatedly for 2 months, you will see massive progress in your driving. You will get in the car, not think twice. You're just driving, you get to your destination and you don't even know how you get there. Your health and fitness journey works the exact same way. You cannot get the results. You cannot get better at something within a period of the week. Yes, you might improve, but you're not going to be where you want to be. So stop expecting to see that fat loss, especially when it took you a certain amount of period of time to put it on. It's not going to come off that quickly either, you know. Or when you start a new job, for example, are you going to be the best at your job on the first day? No, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be wrecked. After a week, you'll probably still have anxiety going in. And then at some stage, we all get used to going into our jobs and we don't even think about it. It's just part of our day-to-day routine. And that's when you see the most progress. That's when you start to excel in your job, when you start to get better, when you start to get promoted. that your health and fitness works the exact same way. Stop expecting results after 1 week, after 4 weeks, or sometimes even after 8 weeks, depending on where your body's at. But I normally do say if you can stay consistent for 6 to 10 weeks, you should be able to see results coming in really, really well, as long as the right adjustments are being made, you know. So give it an 8-week period, you should have your transformation, as long as you've done everything as you should have. So yeah, girls, if you fall into any of these mistakes, I hope you gain value away from it and you actually understand maybe where you're going wrong, and this helps you sort of move past that. So at the minute, if you're eating healthy but you're not tracking your calories, maybe that's your next move. Start tracking your calories so you can actually see maybe have you been over consuming. If you're going into the gym and you don't have a structured workout plan and wondering why you're not seeing progress, or if you're going to random boot camps or random classes every week, maybe we need to change up your training, and that's when you're going to start seeing results. If at the minute you're not tracking your weekends, or just throwing everything out the window at the weekends, or just being a little bit too nice and kind to yourself, maybe we need to knuckle down on that a little bit more so that you can see the results that you want to see. Whichever of these mistakes you're making, or maybe potentially all of them, who knows, make sure that these changes are implemented, and I can guarantee you that you will see results. And also, girls, for anybody that has made it to the end, I have actually launched a new group program. This is our 8-week Hot Girl Reset going into the summer. This is a group coaching program, but you get tailored workouts, you get structured workouts, home-based or gym-based. I set your calories, your macros and everything for you so that you can make sure that whatever goals you are aiming for, that you are actually fueling properly and training properly to get to these goals. You will also be entered into a community of like-minded women that are working towards the same goals and want to feel their most confident going into the summer, that want to feel better and drop that body fat as well. So this might be a perfect opportunity for you. The program is only £149 for the full 8 weeks. It's the cheapest program we've ever run, as it is a group program. And every week we have educational calls, we have conversations. You will be in a community group, so all your questions will be answered. So this is your perfect opportunity to learn more about everything and really, really step out of your comfort zone. So I will leave the entry link for that below in the caption, so you can obviously join whenever you wish. The program starts Monday the 23rd of March, so do not miss it, as that is next Monday. So you have one more week to join the community and join the group before we go in head first and going into the summer months. And if you do have any questions, you can obviously message me on Instagram at @the_glute_girl, which is also linked below. And if you do have any further questions, just let me know. But I hope this has helped. I hope this helps you get over these mistakes. And if you do want sort of like another pair of eyes of where you're sitting at and having that progress tracking in place to make sure that you're progressing, obviously join our 8-week Hot Girl Reset. And yeah, I'll see you all next Monday.